Sagan.
What's up, everybody? This is Bill Mack here, Road Edition, with just my opinion. Just a quick little thought here while I was driving along, and as I usually do with these videos that come out random, sometimes I have my little rants just while I'm on the road, while things come to mind, you know. Sometimes that's one of the times you can actually have to think clear, you know, get out of the house and whatnot. But, you know, my thought for today's little rant is just a topic has been kind of coming up the last couple of days that's been going on with me in my life. You know, for the most part, I think one issue that I have today is people that can't learn to agree to disagree. You know, that's a very important topic, you know, that's really an issue, you know, in our country today. I just feel like everybody will not think the same way. Everybody doesn't have the same mind. Everybody doesn't believe the same way. Everybody doesn't live the same way. Everybody's culture is not the same. You know, everything is different. There are different people, different groups, different areas. You know, not only just around the world, but it's just as well as in our own country and in our own states, you know. I mean, in our own towns. And that's just one thing I can't understand. You know, I've sat here for the longest, and I've watched different types of things happen, events especially like on the news, that you can't agree to disagree, you know. I mean, what's wrong with having civil discourse, you know, amongst you? You have two people and they may not agree on a particular subject, but what makes one right and one wrong? You know, what makes one person's opinion more taken to heart than someone else's if you either agree or disagree, depending on which side of the subject you're on. I mean, you know, I've noticed over time, and, you know, give an example, I've noticed in time in the media, I feel like the media has their own agenda, and what they want, in a way, a subject, a matter is to go, you know. I mean, I don't have anything in particular that I want to pick out per se, but just in noticing in different subjects, you know, for instance, let's just say we take a subject, you know, no matter what it could be, and it can be anything. Okay, let's say a person, the media says it's okay, they're for this particular subject. Okay, well, there may be areas in the country, areas in the states, areas in the towns, that while the media may agree with it, the media may say, hey, this is right, everybody's not going to think it's right. You know, some people are going to think things or that they don't agree with, and it should be their right to agree and disagree, you know. And if we two agree on something, we're both understanding of it. We don't have to try to explain our sides because we're both in agreement. But when we disagree, that's where the trouble runs, because you have to understand is just because the media today says that this is okay and that's the agenda they push, doesn't make it right. I mean, if I feel something that's against the media and I feel my feelings and opinions are on the opposite of that, why is it the fact that I should be forced to agree just because the media does? Is that fair to me? You know, should I be put down, or should I be pressured into agreeing? And common sense, you would think no, but in today's society, there's a lot of media to do that. You know, they basically just go out, and what they do is, I've noticed in particular subjects, they try pressuring you, whether it's media coverage, whether it's financial, and usually it's financial, especially if it's more than just a personal thing. Sometimes it can be a state thing, sometimes it can be a town thing. But I think it's wrong if you try to step in, whether it's the federal government, whether it's the media, to pressure people that maybe don't agree necessarily with something, to agreeing with them. That's wrong. Where is the civil discourse? Where is the saying, well, let's agree that we're going to disagree? I can't convince you that my ways, and you can't convince me of your ways. So since we both understand and can't convince each other, then let's just agree that we're never going to agree with this subject. Let's say it's based on religion. Let's say I agree with one thing and believe in one thing, and you believe in another. Okay, you have your right to believe in what you believe in. I have my right. But if you can do all the talking in the world, you're not going to change my beliefs. And I know I can do all the talking in the world, and it's not going to change yours. But what makes me right, what makes you right, and what makes it to me if I can't just say, okay, you know what? I may disagree with you, but I understand and respect that you have an opinion, you have a thought, you have a belief. It's all about respecting others. I think if there was more of respecting each other's differences than it is anything else, I think our world, our state, our town, our country would be in a better place than it is. But that's the issue so much, and I put a lot of blame on the media, basically, on the federal government for a lot of these issues, because that's what we see every day. People read the news. People watch the news. People watch television. They watch the internet. I mean, today in social media, there's so many outlets today people's views and opinions can get on. And communication is so, right at our front doors these days that, it can get us personal as well as statewide, worldwide, countywide, townwide. But it's like the media's got to where they try to be fair and balanced with the situations, no matter whether it's the Clinton News Network, whether it's MSNBC, whether it's Fox News. There's a way of the truth and a way of belief and what's in the middle. And you always have them pushing their agenda, whether it's left, right, wherever. You always have that agenda. And is that really right? Is that really fair for us to have to go along with that? I don't think so. I think that it's very important that we are able to be respected of our opinions and respected of our beliefs, and that, we should be able to do that. But no, you have so much pressure from outside environment that don't even know, like let's say the federal government does things and to try to pressure, let's say, our state. They don't really know what goes on within our state. They don't really know the people of the state, because that's just the thing they have, and they don't know it, but they just, being the government, being the media, they say, well, we're going to condemn your state for this. We're going to condemn your state because you don't believe in that. Now, is that right or is that wrong? Should they be allowed to pressure us or pressure my opinion just because I don't agree with them? I don't think that's right. I feel as if you have an opinion, then I respect that you have it. And I understand you have beliefs, and I respect that. But I want you also to have my respect. I want you to have my respect in my beliefs, respect in my thoughts, and respect in my opinion. You may not have to agree to it, and that's your choice. It all boils down to choices that we make. But that's all too relies on us just making sure that even though we're different people, different culture, different beliefs, different religions, different opinions, different thoughts, that doesn't make any one person better than the other. But I feel like we've just gotten out of the way of a mutual respect. We have so many issues with each other that there is a lot of problems with that, and I find that very alarming to this day. And that's just something that I was discussing with a friend of mine earlier, and I think another friend of mine last night. You just have to learn to disagree. I mean, my best friend Brandon, he's central left, I'm central right, but we can understand that we don't agree on the same things. We're best friends. We understand that there's differences that we have and stuff, but we respect each other, and we understand each other has different beliefs. I mean, and we can get along well. you know? I mean, we don't argue over those points. We just respect that we have differences, and what we do is we take the similarities and things that we have in common, and that's what we make, you know, and what we go towards, and that's what we should. We should take more time and invest in taking our similarities and celebrating them, taking our similarities and rejoicing and enjoying them, rather than basically just taking our differences and allowing them to cause issues and so much conflict between people. But, you know, that's just the way society's going. But like I said, if people would respect each other more, then they would have a better understanding of what's going on, and we wouldn't have so much conflict like we have. I mean, like I said, you can't make somebody believe one thing. You can't make somebody go the way that you want them to go. That's just not how life works. But you can respect the differences that people have, and you can say, okay, well, I don't believe like that person, but I understand they have their beliefs. I mean, that's great. That's great that you can do that. It makes you have a stronger character, strong characteristics about yourself when you can do that. But just going by and what's going on, it makes me very sad to see so much discourse among people and lack of mutual respect for each other and for our differences, because the United States is a melting pot of cultural differences. You know, we're not like China, where it's all, you know, basically Chinese, or Japan, like it's Japanese, or Indians, or whoever it may be. You know, we're all a country of different cultures mixed together. So by that being the case, that automatically knows that we're going to have sometimes run into differences with situations. It's just, how are we attacking that? How are we approaching that? You know, are we understanding of that and agreeing to disagree, or are we going to just disagree amongst ourselves and argue our points until we're blue in the face? And really, at the end of it, it's not going to be any different than it was at the beginning, and it's just going to make things worse. It's going to cause a breakdown in communication between people. So to me, that's just a very sad moot point. You know, I just want everybody to get along. I know that's a cliche, and you know, but I truly do. I just wish people would have more of a respect towards one another. Had they do that, then things would be a lot better off. You wouldn't have so much conflict and discourse among each other. You know, just learn to agree to disagree, respect each other for their differences, and just try to take those similarities and things that we strive to work for and make them a lot better off, you know, and that would make our relationships, friendships, partnerships, and whatever else it entails, it can allow them to grow and us to grow closer, rather than just taking the differences and growing apart, you know. But that was just something that I'd had on my mind, and, you know, and I've really thought about it, and, you know, I haven't done really a rant in a while, but it was just something as I was heading on into work and just on the road, and it just come to mind. I'm like, this is something I just need to kind of get off my chest, because that's something that's very important. And I look around in society today, not just personal, but in society as a whole, our country as in a whole, and look and just see what's going on out there. You know, you hear it on the news every day, you see it on the internet every day, so it's just a sad thing. But, you know, I just hope that maybe we can learn something from it, learn something from each other, learn that if we don't always agree, that we can agree to disagree and be civil about it. So, you know, but that's really all I had to say. You know, I hope everyone takes care, has a great 4th of July today, and have a safe holiday. And until next time, this is Bill Mack with Just My Opinion, and I am signing off.